Welcome to the third season of Nomi League. My name is Ross, also known as ConflictDog within the Mahjong community. I'll be getting caught up on the past 2 seasons of Nomi League and Season 3's rule set, teams, and players. Now let's take a trip to New York City.
When was Riichi Nomi established? It was established in 2020. What inspired me to create Nomi League? I'm a big fan of M League in Japan, and I got the same table that they use over there, the Amos Rex 3. So as a way to allow all of our club members an opportunity to play on the table, as well as to try to replicate the league that I really like watching and following in Japan, I created N League. Did you imagine N League growing as quickly as it has? To be honest, no. I was very surprised at all the support we had as early as Season 2 with all of the donations that we got and all of the support and all of the fans that we've been able to get over the years now. And I'm excited to see where it goes next. What happened to Season 1, Week 1? Short answer is we did not have the stream set up yet that week. It was after Week 1 that we decided that we would try streaming Nomi League. And so obviously we didn't have the equipment back then. We just had like 2 iPhones, right? So yeah, we just didn't have the equipment back then. It wasn't part of the plan.
And that was Andres, the creator of N League. And I'm going to reiterate some points that he went over and expand upon how the league is actually set up. All matches are going to be played on auto tables, and the sessions are going to be at 2 locations in New York. We're going to have 2 concurrent Hanchons, so a grand total of 4 in Brooklyn, and a session in Queens consisting of 1 table, which is 2 additional Hanchon. Only streaming matches will be from Brooklyn, and from there will be a total of 16 sessions at each location, giving us a grand total of 32. There will be 2 sessions played a week, 1 in Queens, 1 in Brooklyn. The total Hanchon count for the regular season will be 96. Now to go over the rules for Season 3, starting with seeding and dealer order. These will all be predetermined. Now to give a little additional detail for those of you that don't know, Oka is a term I'm about to use, and Uma is a term I'm about to use. Oka is the ante, which is used for scoring at the end of the Hanchon, and so is Uma. That equation is final score minus Oka plus or minus Uma. The Uma for N League 3 is 30 and 10, and the Oka is 20k. Each player will start with 30,000 points, and all matches will go to South 4 with no extension into West. There is going to be 3 red Dora, these are 5s, and as far as whenever a player calls a con, the Dora indicator will be flipped immediately. Busting and Agariame will be off. Busting means players can go into negative scoring, and Agariame means the game will not end if the last dealer is in first place. There will be no abortive draws. Kiriage Magan will be on. That means a 4 Han and 30 Fu hand, as well as a 3 Han 60 Fu hand are considered Mangan. The difference between these hands and a Mangan is essentially negligible, about 3 to 100 points. So these values are rounded up for convenience. Now for a few of the other rules that may not be so common to other leagues. Starting with Nagashi Mangan. This means your discards only consist of honors or terminals. There will also be Kansai Chitoi. This will count as a regular Chitoi. To be specific, Kansai Chitoi is when a player has a quad in their hand, and that can then be used as part of their Chitoi. Another local Yaku, Open Riichi. Now, the basics is the player is revealing their hand instead of concealing it when they've called Riichi. What does this mean? An open Riichi must be verbally declared before discarding so that the other players have all the information they need to make the proper decisions on on that discarded tile. The standard Han for an open Riichi is 2. In the event of a double open Riichi, it will count as 4 Han. Double Yakumen is on in Season 3. This means 13-sided Kokushi, also known as 13 Orphans, a 9-sided Churin, also known as 9 Gates, Suonko Tonki, 4 concealed triplets, and Dai Sushi, triplets or quads of all the winds. There will also be stacking of Yakumen. Renho is considered a Yakumen. Renho is scored when a player declares Roan with their starting hand before drawing their first tile, and before anyone has called a tile. Only non-dealers may score Renho since the dealer gets the first draw and discard of the game. Specific to Kokushi, we have Onkon Chankon on. In almost all cases, players cannot roam off of an Onkon, also known as a closed con. The notable exception is with Kokushi Tenpai hand. For Kokushi, the last tile needed for the Yakumen may be one from an opponent's closed con. There is a rule of POW, which forces the player whose discard is used to form an apparent Yakumen to be liable for either partial or full payment of the hand if the player who called said discard wins the round. So POW is in effect for some Yakumen. We have it for Dai Sushi, Dai Sengon, which is triplets of all dragons, and Sukansu, which is 4 called cons. If the Yakumen is won by Sumo, the liable player will pay the full amount of the hand, including any extra Honba. This is if Roan was called against the liable player. In the event the Yakumen is won by Roan against a non-liable player, that player will pay half the value of the hand. The liable player will pay the other half of the hand, including any extra Honba. Honba in Season 3 are each worth 1,500 points. These are identified as quote-unquote big Honba. Any double pair of win is counted for 4 Fu. Head bump is off. Double and triple roan is on. For those who don't know, head bump is when people with the same weight roan. The person closest to the dealer is deemed the winner. This has been turned off. There will also be Riichi with no draws left. In standard play, you can only Riichi so long as there are 4 tiles left to draw. Any remaining Riichi sticks at the end of a Hanchan will remain on the table.
And lastly, obviously this is more geared towards the players, but should
Any of them be late after 20 minutes, there will be a penalty. At first will be a negative 20 to the overall team score, and then should a substitute be needed, it will be a negative 40 to the overall team score. Now to get into the finals of Season 3. After the 96th Hanchan has been played, the top 4 teams will remain, and the remainder score is going to be halved. The final table is then 8 Hanchan over the course of 1 month. This will be 2 Hanchan a week, all of which will be streamed, and all members of each team must play in the finals. Obviously, it must be a different member each week. Now for a little history. Season 1 was won by Queen's Mahjong Triad, and Season 2 was won by the Destroyers. A little bit of lore, this season you might see a lot of people saying sink the ship. As far as Season 1 top player, that would be Michael from the Destroyers. They scored a total of positive 330.9 points. The Season 2 top player was Calvin of the Brooklyn Sours, and they scored 272 points. Lastly, we're gonna show off some of the bigger wins N-League has seen. Season 1 big win went to Kevin of
Team Yakumen.
their Hanchan with 72,100 points. In Season 2,
Damien
of Emperor Penguins, they scored 95,300 points, absolutely crushing their table. Ideally, we may have some links available in the description where you can see these end scores and maybe where their domination starts. now that we've gone over all of that, let's go into the teams. We'll be showing off some excerpts from each team's captain, as well as a few questions we've prepared for them.
Hello, this is Vince, captain of the Brooklyn Sours. Leading into the latest season of N-League, the Sours are pleased to be returning with the same awesome roster as last year and are aiming to make the league from our second place finish to the top of the table this go-around. The team has been improving through the old-fashioned way of touching the tiles, be it at the weekly club meetups, traveling to tournaments, or jumping into those pop-up games that come along from time to time. We're approaching Season 3 the same way as always, with a focus on disciplined play, calculated pushes, and most importantly, making sure we're having fun at and away from the table, while always keeping the club motto in mind: never salty, always sour.
The term destroyer originated back when I won the Australia and New York tournament. I was given the nickname Destroyer of Australia, but it has kind of evolved since then. It has extended to other tournament winners. For example, whoever wins the Riichi Nomi Open is called the Destroyer of New York. So anyone can embody a destroyer, and especially my teammates who are exemplary destroyers. It is also the name of a type of ship, which is why the team has a lot of nautical theming in our logo as well as our jerseys. I would say that the team has really learned to adapt our play based on how we're doing in the standings, and last season especially we were resilient to how much the other teams wanted to hashtag sink the ship. I think we ended up holding the first place spot for the majority of the season. So our newly drafted player, Nettie, also known as Koigi, brings a great balance of stable defensive play and explosive firepower. I really consider her an all-rounder, and since the other team members, including myself, lean more towards heavy offense, she's there to buff up our team's defensive abilities. Also been very fun to have around in team socials, and I look forward to the rest of the season. As far as how we're preparing for Season 3, each team member has set a goal for ladder rank that they've been working towards on their own. In our group chat, we've also been studying up on theory and going over what would you do problems, both from books and from examples that we've encountered in the wild. We've also practiced in real life, particularly on the Astoria Jonso table, to drill drawing from the correct wall and avoiding chombos, to try to overturn our team's reputation for shenanigans.
Hi, this is Bob Chow, and I'm the captain of Dora Nekos. The name of our team is actually just a pun, and in Japanese, Neko means cats. Dora Nekos means stray cats. And Dora Nekos, which just sounds like Dora Nekos, right, adds a particular element of Riichi Mahjong to it. We are indeed playing Aka-ari, Ura-ari rules in Nomi League, so Dora is very important in this rule set, needless to say. And most importantly, our team members and I, of course, all love cats. Well, who doesn't? And we drafted a new player this season, Springo, also Kevin. He's a very, very strong ladder player, very good player, and Melissa, the ace of our team, was his Mahjong mentor. He is also my fellow Colombian Lion. And diversity is indeed a very important value to me and our team, not just diversity in identities, but also diversity in playing styles. Springo is a very digital player who is always willing to learn from AI. While I am actually relatively on the anti-AI side, it is always a great pleasure to include many different opinions and styles on our team. We Sam and Melissa together. Mahjong should always be inclusive, not exclusive. And I really don't want to talk too much about preparing, proving, because those are not something I am looking for. Indeed, from my perspective, I have the best, the strongest players in the league ever. But winning each hand, each game is just not the essence of Mahjong. It is not a game like that. My philosophy of Mahjong is neither about seeking mathematical optimization, the statistical calculations, nor winning each hand defeat others, but about how to live a life in this world, how to face your life. Life is just like Mahjong, but maybe one hand only, or one hangzhang only. Some people have good high-pai, some people have bad high-pai in their life. Some people have good tsumo, some people cannot tsumo anything useful. Then what should be your decision? How would you face your life? Would you be satisfied with a safe, quick, but a very cheap hand, let's say an open Tangyao 1000 point? Or will you take a risky route looking for an expensive but difficult hand? Baiman, Sanbaiman, or Yakumen even? Which type of person are you? Well, some people simply follow the given flow, but some people want to change the flow intentionally when they feel something strange. Do you believe in destiny or not? Well, Mahjong is simply a measure of life. This is how I think about Mahjong. So I won't talk too much about like we're going to make it to the final, we're going to take the champion this year. That's not very important. As I said last season, I simply wish that Nomi League Season 3 could become a valuable journey for each player and each audience. Thank you, good luck, and have fun.
Hello, this is Pio. I am the captain of the Emperor Penguins, but we usually just go by Penguins. There's not really too much to say about our team name. I like penguins. Penguins are cool. They're like one of my favorite flightless birds. I like how they look. They're very funny, and I kind of wanted to go for a team name that, it's like more synonymous, regular team names. They're like the Eagles. I didn't really want to do anything too Mahjong related, and so we just went with the Emperor Penguins because who doesn't like penguins? Our team, in the past and previous seasons, we haven't really done a whole lot of like training or anything like that. We were just kind of like playing for fun, just having a good time, good vibes all around. But this season, along with the new player that we drafted, Cody, he's really into getting better at the game. He's initiated like, oh hey, here are some logs. I want you to go look them over, and just being very proactive. And that's something that I really like about Cody, and that's something that I hope we continue to do as the season progresses. And yeah, that's really it. I really like how gung-ho he is about everything. Very excited for the new season. Yeah, that's kind of something we've been doing, preparing for season 3. We want to win it, or at the very least make it to the finals this year. We can't just have the other teams just make it to the finals all the time, and so that's kind of what I'm looking forward to this season. Thank you. This is Pio from the Penguins, along with fellow teammates Christine, Damien, and Cody.
This is Captain Chris Lowell of the Opie Dopes. Question 1. Explain your team name. Our team is called the Opie Dopes after my dog Opie. He is a big chocolate lab who is very friendly, but not very bright. But he is very loving, he's very happy, and he just enjoys being here. Question 2. Where do you think your team has improved from prior seasons? Well, I would say one thing that we are doing better since last season is managing aggression versus defense. We had a lot of very bad 4th place finishes in Nomi League Season 2 and even inside Season 1, and that's a thing we'd like to remedy. So we'd like to talk about controlling tilt and controlling over-aggression in response to being put into 3rd or 4th. Question 3. What does your new player bring to your team? Well, we drafted Max this year, otherwise known as Light Pink Yoshi. He is an excellent player with good teaching aptitude, great communication skills, and overall maintains the chill vibe that is already on the team. We're hoping to learn from his consistency and his analytical play. He is very good with digital style. He is very good with probability and math, and we hope to take a little bit of that wisdom on board for the rest of the team. Question 4. How has the team been preparing for Season 3? We haven't had a chance to meet up in person yet, although we are beginning to talk about defensive exercises and some online group play. Our preseason prep has been interrupted by a lot of real-life events for the whole team, but as soon as the season starts, we hope to make more consistent time for each other, and that includes a lot of in-person play with our teammates and with other Nomi League teams in our off time.
Hi, this is Claire Posniak. My team on Nomi League is called the Peregrine Falkans. We're named that because falcons are freaking incredible birds. They're fast, they're vicious, they absolutely destroy their prey. It's a really cool bird to be named after. And of course, the con element is a necessary part of being a falcon as well. It brings the Mahjong to the bird, really combines them. In terms of how my team has improved over the seasons, I think everyone's gotten a lot more comfortable playing on camera. We're calm, we're focused, we're in our lane now. Hiccups that have happened in the past aren't going to be happening in the future just because we're really used to what we're doing now. The nerves have dissipated and we're ready to succeed. A lot of practice playing is what's coming into that. And that's kind of the answer as well to how our team is practicing for Season 3. Really getting in the reps, playing as many games as possible, playing seriously, whereas, it's really easy just to play without thinking that hard about it. But no, we're locked in. We're playing games as best as we can. We're learning from our mistakes. That's how we're preparing for Season 3. Go Falcons!
Hey there. I'm Josh, captain of the Queen's Mahjong Triad. Our name, the Triad, actually refers to the three dragons, red, white, and green, or Haku, Hatsu, and Chun. You can actually see it in our logo. And of course, when you get triplets of all three of them, it's a very good time. So we'll aspire to bring that to you this season. Where has our team improved from previous seasons? I think we've always been bettering ourselves with like log reviews and in-person trainings. I think that we're challenging ourselves with ladder too. During the off season, we are all challenging ourselves to reach the next rank in our respective ladder accounts, be it Tenho, Mahjong Seoul, or Riichi City. And, trying to adapt always to different play styles based on the goal. I think that's sort of the crux of long format Mahjong like this. You're not just playing it for today. So we always try and make decisions that help us make those better long-term decisions. This season we drafted Eric. Obviously Eric is a known quantity. Eric was with us on our first season in which we won the tournament, the championship. So to be very frank, we're hoping that with the whole season 1 group back together, full strength and then some, we can repeat that this season. I think Eric brings to the table a lot of knowledge, especially given his young age. He's very wise when it comes to Mahjong, and we all have something we can learn from him. So definitely you're going to see an improvement on that compared to last season when we didn't have his guidance. I'm preparing for season 3. To be honest, summer has been tough. I think as we go on in the season and start to get some, scenarios we can zoom into and some initial games where we can look over the results and the decisions, I think we'll start to talk about those and again try to make the best long-term decisions possible to maximize the chances of winning the league and maximizing sort of top 3 placement overall, since we have a pretty big prize pool this season. I think that we've just been trying to work on our ladder accounts and get them up just as practice to keep ourselves warm for the actual game starting. That's it for me. Enjoy season 3, whether you're a player or a viewer. We really appreciate you, so see you at the table.
Hello, my name is Kevin Eng, and I am the captain of Team Yakumen. We picked our team name because we wanted to make a play on words with Riichi Mahjong. We thought of Team Yakuman, and at the time we first came about as a team, we were all guys, so we made a little fun play on words, named ourselves Team Yakumen. Over time, we've had members come and go. Each year we've had a new member, and we still are all guys, so we're keeping the name of Team Yakumen. If we ever draft a woman, we'll reevaluate our name when that time comes. I think we've really tried to work hard and just playing a lot of Mahjong. With this year's WRC qualifications and all the different tournaments going on around the country, every person who is on Team Yakumen right now has attended a lot of tournaments. And we've had mixed showing, some good, some fine, but that's just Mahjong. I think just practicing a lot together and in tournament setting has helped us improve a lot in our game and helped us be calm in tense situations and think about what our target points are at the end of a game and thinking about those kinds of things. We drafted Arthur this year. Quincy and I have played a lot with Arthur, and we're very familiar with his style and really like it. When I drafted Quincy, I had played a lot of Mahjong with him before I drafted him, and I could tell from playing with him that he was a good player. Same goes for Melvin, same goes with Arthur. Played games with them, and I could tell that they're decent players, and I think he's gonna bring that same level of expertise for the game that we hope to have. And we lost Eric, who was a very good skilled player as well, so just to fill that void and maintain that same level of play. I think that's how it leads into the next question, where you ask us how we've been preparing. It's just a lot of playing a lot of tournaments, thinking about the game, thinking about end game situations. I know Melvin has also been studying very hard as well. He's thinking about doing the professional certification, or at least seeing what needs to go into it. So that study, I'm sure, is going to help him to improve his play and bring some of that knowledge to our team.
Huge shout out to Riichi City. They are actually sponsoring Nomi League Season 3. So again, Riichi Nomi recently held a live stream where there was an event. You could spend $30 as a donation to help improve Nomi League. By donating the minimum amount of $30, you were then eligible to be granted a new background mat to play Mahjong on in Riichi City, designed by Riichi Nomi's own Vinny. Again, huge shout out to Riichi City. You can find them available on mobile, on web, and on Steam. Huge shout out to everybody that joined the live stream I had mentioned earlier. As stated during that live stream, a minimum donation of $30 netted you a brand new background for Riichi City. Huge shout out to every single person that not only joined the live stream, but all the donators. Without your help, Nomi League Season 3 wouldn't be shaping up to look as fantastic as it does right now. We would like to extend that thanks to everybody who joined us that night and those who donated.
And special thanks to Vinny of Riichi Nomi. Vinny designed the exclusive background in Riichi City. Vinny also has designed the jerseys for Riichi Nomi. Great work, Vinny. And lastly, a shout out to all the members of Riichi Nomi involved with Season 3. This not only includes the players, but also the volunteers. These will be the people that will be helping assist with the stream's overlay, commentary, and making sure we have views on everybody's hands. Thank you to all of the volunteers, past, present, and future. So, with all of that being said, I want to thank the teams of Nomi League Season 3 for taking time out of their schedules to assist with this preseason show. I would like to also thank Andres, the creator of N-League. It is a fantastic league that we have in the United States, and I hope we get to share that with more people around the world. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me on this Season 3 preview, and hopefully you'll join us on September 27th for the first Hanchan. See you then.